I'm Eric.
And I'm Tony. This is Quarterjacked.
Your source to get plugged in.
All right, today we got an album review. And it is Kyuss, Welcome to Sky Valley. This is a classic of the grunge era, I guess you'd say. This is one of the things it's known for is this is the band that Josh Homme was in before he started Queens of the Stone Age. One of the first things I like about this album is that this is vinyl worthy in terms of the cover. You know, it's one of those. It's like Hotel California. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I want this on a poster. This CD, this just doesn't do any justice. It's just a really cool album cover. This it's basically broken into three movements, almost like a classical piece of music. All of the songs. This is not made for radio. This is not made for it's not music made for radio. It's something that is very long songs, arbitrarily broken into three sections. The opening riff kicks ass. It is super heavy, super cool, and it's one of those things, again, it's not made for radio because it starts out, they kind of go into it, and then right when the vocals are supposed to kick in, they go back around for more. And then the vocals kick in. It's you hear some people talk about some sort of lost grunge classic or something. I don't know if it's that or not. It's very, very good. And it's one of those things where the way it was recorded, it was intentionally just, there's not a whole lot of production values, and that's kind of the charm of it.
I've noticed with all his work, he kind of goes away from the norm.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, the best parts about his stuff and the worst parts, is the fact that some of it's kind of weird and some of it's kind of, off the beaten track there, and but some of it's radio friendly, some of it just falls right in line with everything else in music. But
yeah.
Grunge-wise, I'd say it's up there as like if you're a really hardcore grunge fan, that's the album that people talk about.
Yes.
It's not, Nevermind. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not all these mainstream Pearl Jam 10. It's that.
Oh yeah, right, absolutely. And one of the things about it is, there's this kind of, the official history of rock and roll and heavy metal and grunge and everything is that you've got metal over here, you've got grunge and alternate over here, and never the twain shall meet. At each other's throats, whatever. Yes. There's parts of this, parts of it sound grungy, stoner, desert rock, whatever anyone wants to call it. But there's also parts of it. It just sounds like a standard issue sort of bluesy rock jam in the middle of it. It sounds like a sound check for Deep Purple in 1975. And the dirty little secret is all these guys who are of that era, they actually cut their teeth on metal and hard rock, a lot of them, who's the guy for Smashing Pumpkins?
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan, He always used to scream about how he loved Eddie Van Halen, and everyone thought he was being ironic.
No, he was serious.
Yeah. And one of the things about this is this shows that sort of where they kind of came together at one point, and then at some crucial point, those guys who started all those bands, they went off into punk and hardcore territory.
Yeah. I think what happens most of the time, though, is the roots are so dug deeply into the heavy metal part of it that the fans don't like that. But if you ask any of the musicians, they all ask all of them. Dave Grohl, they all loved all that hardcore early '80s rock metal. They were big fans of it. I think it's
Kurt Cobain wanted their first album to sound like Black Sabbath. Mm-hmm. He kept saying that. I want this to sound like Black Sabbath. You know, and one of the things, I'm a music dork, so I go on the different forums and the reviews, like on Amazon and everything. A lot of people kind of criticize the vocals in this. Some in the vocals, some of it's kind of that standard issue, hard rock, macho kind of singing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always fit with these songs. Some of it fits very well, but the big thing is because of the production values.
Josh is actually dominantly singing through the whole entire album, I do believe.
What's this guy's name?
There's another guy.
Yeah, right.
It's I think it might be the bass player.
Okay. Yeah. One of the things though is since there's no production. I mean, it's like when the production values are low, the biggest thing to suffer are the vocals.
It's singing in a tin can.
Yeah, because they're just out there naked.
Yes.
So you hear people run it down. It's like, well, part of the charm of it is that it's so lo-fi, but that doesn't do any favors for the vocalist.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's one of those things that's off the beaten path. If you're into this kind of music, you're really going to like it. If you just like heavy music in general, it's worth picking it up. It's one of those things where even though it's big and thick and heavy, there's plenty of space in it. It's driving music. It's good driving music.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I'll say even about their other album. Queens of the Stone Age.
Mm-hmm.
The entire, everything he does is driving music. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you said desert rock. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, because it feels like you're just in a '68 Buick with the top down.
Yeah,
flying along. That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fun listen.
Yeah. So short and sweet. That's Kyuss. Welcome to Sky Valley. If you don't have it, get it later.